man, the off-season is a long, hard, and often painful existence. Me, Andre Harrison, is here to tell you that it's okay, man. I feel you. I'm hugging you through the screen right now, I promise. Anywho, what doesn't help during these painfully long off-seasons is the same old stories that keep popping up in between, as F1 media outlets desperately scratch for a story to grab our precious clicks. So, heading into 2016, here's my most repetitive stories that just keep coming back into the F1 world, even if you wish you could choke it with your bare hands. Number 5. Anytime Nico Rosberg gets largely criticised. Context is a wonderful thing, isn't it? And that's what I think so many people forget to do when it comes to Nico Rosberg. He's been the whipping boy and easy target for criticism for a long time now in F1, especially since Lewis Hamilton joined up with him back in 2013. Here's the thing though, he's actually still really good. The man has won 14 Grand Prix, 2 off the most of any driver ever to have not been world champion, and is a 300 point a season scorer when the car is number 1. The thing is, we're comparing him to Lewis freaking Hamilton here. A 43-time race winner and a Hall of Famer by the time it's all said and done. Sure, Rosberg isn't as good as Lewis, I think that's fair to say at this point. You know who also isn't as good as Lewis? Just about every driver in the world not named Sebastian. Given how easily excited we get over drivers like Daniel Ricciardo and Max Verstappen, etc., I think any other guy who has as many solid seasons as Rosberg has gets hyped up, or gets hyped up as a top-level driver. But hey, that's the nature of reducing a driver to charity status because he's 0-3 against Lewis. Nico is the unfortunate victim of a sports bloodlust for a title feud. Good luck, Seb, you're next again. Number 4, any talk of the good old days. Guys, the V10s aren't coming back. I hate to break it to you all, but no matter how much you grumble at watching 2015 F1 hybrid tech, it's not going to happen. This seems to be a yearly thing where some element of the past is in discussion to be brought back, from refueling to engine discussions, banning team radios and how the cars are easier to drive. It's the worst. Formula 1 has always tried to be at the pinnacle of technology, and as such, as technology becomes better and more efficient, naturally things will get easier. The radio message complaints which forced fans to declare, "We want to see the drivers pushed," was a natural consequence of wanting to know more about the drivers in this era of information. Why did people complain when car management was around for years? Because no one likes to know how the sausage was made. A shame, really. And don't get me started on refueling. Number 3, everyone getting antsy when Bernie Ecclestone says something. I love whenever fans get mad at the sport for whatever reason and then they blame Bernie for it, like he's responsible. Bernie is the commercial rights holder, sure, but he actually has next to no actual power to do anything in Formula 1. If anything, he's complained that the sport's become too democratic. It amuses me that there are so many dead sets on this. The ones that actually run F1 more are the teams, and more specifically, those in the strategy group, consistent of Ferrari, Mercedes, McLaren, Williams and Red Bull, and whatever remaining team was best in the championship the previous year. They push all those rule changes and suggested ideas you see everywhere. Like I said, I'm not even hating. I love the fact he's basically the Darth Vader of F1 now more than anything else. Fans, if you don't like what's going on, point your frustrations at the teams instead. It's much more fun that way. Number 2. If all else fails, it's Pirellis' fault. I actually feel bad for Pirelli. Really, I do. You know why? Because they are the middle child of Formula 1. Whenever there's some kind of problem with the entertainment side of the sport, or if something's at fault, they're to blame. The teams rag on them when the tyres don't suit the car, like in 2013. They were criticised as the middlemen when they were told to make tyres that quickly lose performance, even though it was what the FIA told them to do, and if a race is boring, it's almost a given they'll be right at the top for things to moan about. They are the ultimate scapegoat, the piggy in the middle for whenever either a team or the fans need something to outlet their frustration on, when most of the time, they're just doing their jobs. Leave Pirelli alone, they're only humans too, you know. And number 1, can we please stop talking about Lewis Hamilton's private life? I hate this one. We as media are crazily intrusive enough as it is in sports, but in Formula 1, its biggest victim is Lewis Hamilton. And it's not only for the constant interjecting into his love life, it goes further because we often use that private life as a weapon to hang over his head if he doesn't win, which he sadly for them, he does. A lot. Journalists want the easy story, but consider this. Hamilton was a boring corporate guy when he first entered F1 with McLaren. He's finally been given the freedom to be his own guy, be outside the box, something we rarely see in Formula 1 as it is. Shouldn't that be celebrated? Not to mention, he's won 20 Grand Prix the last 2 years. More than most for their entire careers. Leave the man alone, he's earned it, quite frankly. Got any other repetitive stories or observations from life as an F1 fan? Vent them in the comments below, and until next time, I've been Andre Harrison, and thanks for watching.